Yes, that is Sydney, or so they say.
This is a photo taken apparently from Clarens mansion. It is a very strange photo. It really doesn't give us a date. They're saying around about the 1850s with a question mark. what I've been looking at, this photo is in some of the libraries, but not in this context. It's actually not showing this couple that were meant to be the owners of this mansion, apparently. They're only showing from the women across. The men and his family are not in the actual photos they share in the libraries or the Dictionary of Sydney, which I find strange, because if you're going to back up a story that this is the owner and maybe relatives have visited on this day, or acquaintances, or maybe, aunts and uncles, I don't know, but he is not shown. That side of him and his wife and the child is not shown, and you'll see that in a minute.
And like, who's this strange person? Look at that.
Have a look, but look again at the facial, look again at the skin colour.
Yeah,
we're not coming from Ireland, we're not coming from France or wherever they want us to believe. Have a look at this man and his wife. She is, Indigenous.
Yeah, she does look Indigenous for sure.
I mean, we're all bloody Indigenous.
Well, yeah, exactly right. If we're from here.
Yeah. And then you look at the structure of that building.
Yeah.
And then we look at the Sphinx.
Yes.
They're large.
Yeah, well, I mean, that head's bigger than her head. Like they're not small. And I mean, just look at the size of what they're sitting on. Everything's very large, and like, look at the faces on this, man. It's like, that's high quality workmanship, man.
Yeah, and look at the actual, pardon me, is that a lake they're standing on the edge of, or a canal?
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the edge of it.
The whole thing's a man-made deck, yeah.
It's just magnificent.
Yep.
So I've looked into, I've done a close-up.
Yeah, he's with but she definitely looks Indigenous. I mean, he definitely could be. It's just a bit hard to see him.
Yeah. He just seems to have a nice blurry face for some reason. So that's, again, another picture. Now, as you can see, there's a question mark there, and it was demolished in 1901. Can you imagine demolishing that?
No. So they are standing above. Oh, is it a pond or is that grass? I don't know. But definitely the whole thing's built up. And look what's behind them. Right? I mean, how often do we see this? There's always this railing, right? When it's made in stone or whatever it is, it's always this shape, right? The same railings everywhere. These pots are everywhere, like all throughout the realm. But
right up the top, is that a fort?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is that?
Yeah. It's probably their airport, right?
It's just, look, I had a look at the state, the Dictionary of Sydney say about this place, and they're saying it was built the original owner was in 1842. It was built in 1842. Yet I found an owner. What's his name? There was an Isabella Martin and James Martin, and James Martin was there in 1820. So no, that's the house. Actually, have a look at that. This is the house. So this is meant to be the same house.
Doesn't quite look the same, size and grandeur, does it?
No, and if you go right behind that flower pedestal, there's actually faded part.
Yeah.
Look at this. Yeah.
That's strange.
Yes. It's almost like they don't want us to know about this.
Yeah, it's almost like they've tried to get rid of it, but didn't quite get there. And they're like,
Yep.
oh, well, it kind of looks like the shadows of the trees. We'll just leave it there. Yeah, right.
So tell me, how can they take a photo like that of a very, it was very majestic and huge by the description of it. They can give us a very clear picture of the ladies and that on the edge. But when they're taking photos of the actual like that, how clear is that?
Mm.
And yet they can't take a proper photo of the house?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Now, is that the house again? Yeah. So they can't take a clear photo. They have to take it from a distance and then try and shade out the actual.
Yeah. Or these just, found photos, right? And they've just written Clarens on here and tried to shade this out to make it, fit their narrative, right?
Exactly. It's strange.
That's a bit weird, that one. So this
just shows you the owners and, and you can go onto links about these people, but it contradicts itself because it says it's built by the original owner in 1842, and yet I find that this Mr. Martin, James Martin, was there, and he was there in 1814, 1820 as an owner. One part says he's an occupier. I love that. In 1853. And then and when you click onto him, he was actually an owner in 1820.
So, I mean, whatever he was there, right? And it wasn't, and the building wasn't supposed to exist at that point.
No. So here we go. If you zoom into that, there's a story about this. It makes no sense either. So one of those links brought me to that particular, whatever it is, and apparently it is called, it's got a special name, I can't even pronounce it, but it's a paramount sandstone, a very large statue made out of paramount sandstone. It's an exact, which they point out quite a lot, of an ancient Athens structure from 334 BC.
What?
Which was constructed as part of a very dramatic prize. That's all I get.
What? Constructed as a prize? What does that mean?
A very dramatic prize.
Dramatic prize.
Just what I mean. How they speak back then to how we speak is just, what does that mean? That's exactly right. But it's a very odd photo.
It is. So it looks a little bit overgrown too, doesn't it? Really, it doesn't.
Yes.
Doesn't look manicured for this kind of a building, right, or a house.
So if that is so dramatic, it's been a dramatic prize, whatever that means. It's an exact. They really emphasise that, a replica from 334 BC of an Athens structure. Why are you taking such a crappy photo of it?
Yeah, this is a really bad photo, man. Like, look at the white out here. It's crazy.
Now, they called it the monument of, and I'll have to spell this because I'm really bad, Lysi creates, Crates.
Yeah, Lysi creates. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Lysi creates. I don't know what Lysi creates is.
So, again, you've got history here. You would think you can take a bloody good photo 1 minute and then you take a crappy photo. Okay, what?
Right, okay, I found it. This is, hang on, where are we? Lysocrates. So I'm thinking this is some kind of tech because, look,
it's a monument of Lysocrates.
Of Lysocrates, right? And here it is. Wow. See that?
Yes.
Look at
that. Oh, wow. And they've emphasised 3 times exact replica of a 334 BC Lysocrate monument.
Wow. Okay, so,
Oh.
I mean, how would they even know that this monument existed, right? So
That's exactly right.
This is in near the Acropolis of Athens. So yeah, this is in Greece, near Athens. Erected by Korygos Lysocrates, a wealthy patron of musical performances. Interesting. It's the theatre of Dionysus. Dionysus was one of their gods. I can't exactly remember what he stood for.
Yes. Yeah.
But acting, right? Acting, the play, the falsification, the story.
Exactly. So how's that for that place? I mean, that place just gets more and more interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's weird, right?
Yep.
I
Now,
mean,
if you go,
it's looking, yeah, like it was there and probably inhabited, right?
yes, and then you look at all the growth around that photo that they took. How old is that photo?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know, right? I mean,
So
the whole
they're
sepia tone thing, like the sepia tone, like they just sort of say, oh, it's just a little bit of a phase or some type of,
it's
development.
overkill, sepia.
All the sepia tones could be old world, right? That could have just been their way of photographing.
Exactly. There could be an original. So that's the picture they give you from the Sydney Directory of Sydney. And as you can see, that's also overexposed because we've seen one much better. And there's no one, there's no man and his wife standing there with their child.
Yeah.
This
is different. These two are the same. They look exactly the same. But this one on the edge here, like has she been implanted in there?
Maybe.
Around, there's a bit more of an edge. There's a bit more of an edge to her, right, than there are to this lady. I don't know, just saying.
Yeah. But it's also proving the fact that how our photos are manipulated, because that's coming from the Sydney Directory of Sydney of what is collecting for information for historians and for people that do research. That's not a true photo.
Now this lady, she was in the first one, but
yes.
But you can see how dark this one is, right, and a lot more sort of crisp and detailed. And then this one, like they would have had to get that and redevelop it and mess with it to make it look like this.
Which one's the real? We're getting two different.
Yeah.
Oh, that's overexposed, very sepia like the rest of the photos. Are they original photos? Or what is that?
Like, is that the original? And this other one that's darker, like they've
why did they cut that man out and his wife? Why?
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, I guess because, she's probably the most Indigenous, but I mean also pretty blurry. Right? This one's blurrier. Right? It's not as focused as this one. This one's a bit crisper, especially around the faces.
Yes, and she's very Indigenous looking, though.
This one could be, but especially the lady that was, that's been cut out, and she probably looks more Indigenous, right, in this photo. And so they've just, messed it up a bit.
So that property was described as having cascading gardens down to the shore that look like a fairyland.
Yeah, right.
The gardens were apparently they were like botanical gardens that were just amazing. So it's a very interesting subject, that one, and it's got a lot more questions and answers.
Yeah. I mean, well, we get those pictures, right, of like what is it, Lake George? You've seen those Lake George photos, yeah?
Yes.
Like, is this where this place was? Because this whole Lake George, like, there's really no explanation really for this, is there? But this is
Is
some
that
of
the
the
one in
pictures we get,
Canberra?
right?
Yes,
And
in Canberra.
yeah, city of Canberra, new capital of Australian Commonwealth. Look at this. I mean,
Yes.
and this is like a photo almost. I mean, I think it's a drawing, but the federal city, Lake George, view from the governor's residence. I mean, look at this place. I mean, this looks like where that photo was taken, the same kind of thing, right? Same kind of grandeur.
Very, absolutely. Good point.
So they said there that this is, and Canberra's within New South Wales, so I don't know if, well, I mean, the ACT is, right? Here's a picture, a drawing of it.
Yep. And there's a drawing like that of Sydney Cove by this convict artist.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yes. So when you go, there's another photo there of where that mansion was, apparently. And I've got it under Clarens Mansion Land 2025. I don't know if it's called Sandy Point now or, So if it was there, then I bet that was a star city or something.
Yeah. Well, Sydney Harbour is full of, the whole thing was a star city. Like, there's star forts everywhere. I mean, even just look down, you can see this is a wall. This is a man-made wall here. This isn't like a natural jutting out. And you know, all the islands throughout Sydney Harbour, they've all got little, you know, forts on them, you know, bits of the Star City. It's everywhere. And of course they've knocked a lot of it over. For Macquarie, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they knocked that one over.
So that they talk about it being a grand botanical garden, and that the garden swept down to the shores towards the water. So, yeah.
It might have been where these tennis courts are now. They've really done a job in Australia. They've knocked so much over.